funny hearing people talk on town, right?
Yeah.
And my very
Hello everyone and welcome back to Northlight Photographic Workshops. As you can see, I've made my way over here to Mackinaw Island to visit with Amber Deitz, a wonderful photographer and practitioner of alternative processes like myself, and she's really great at what she's done, and she's been up here for the last couple of weeks on Mackinaw Island in northern Michigan doing an artist residency here that she was accepted for, and she's been here doing wet plate collodion on the island, and she's been doing some wonderful plates. And anyway, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Amber Deitz. This is Amber. Thanks for doing this, Amber.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you've been having a good time out here.
I've been having a great time. Yeah,
Fantastic.
It's been a lot of fun. I can't believe it's almost over.
Yeah, that's
It's been
too
almost
bad.
2 weeks, which is really sad. But it's been great weather. I've been really lucky
Yeah.
because I need the weather to be on my side. And it's been really wonderful, and I've been exploring and making photographs, meeting people. It's been really good.
Yeah, well, it was really fun coming here today to hang with you while you were working out there, because it was really interesting to see all the people riding by while you're doing this thing, and how many people were interested in what you're doing, how many weren't really interested or would just stare at you.
Yeah.
And then the one gentleman who stopped, slammed on his brakes, and he says,
Yeah.
Which wet plater are you?
He knew exactly what was happening.
So, with being here, I mean, this is part of my studio visits, but this isn't actually your studio, but this is really cool coming here to work with you and to see you out in the field. So, I mean, you probably had to come with some sort of a theme or an idea.
Yeah, so my proposal was linking the history of photography to the history of the National Park System. So the wet plate collodion process was founded in 1851 by Frederick Scott Archer,
Right.
and then in the late 1860s and early 1870s, William Henry Jackson used the process when he was exploring as part of the geological surveys that the government would put on. So he was exploring the American West, going out to what we now know as Yellowstone and making landscape photographs. And then those photographs were sent back to Congress, and he was using the wet plate collodion process.
Right.
That was the process of the time to make landscape photographs. And those photographs, and some other things, but those photographs were really important for making the National Park System. And so because of those photographs, that Yellowstone was made the first national park.
Right.
And then the second was Mackinaw Island.
Yeah, no, that's interesting, because that was a bit of history that I was not aware of.
Yeah, so in 1875, Mackinaw Island was made the second national park of our country. And so I like to think that if it wasn't for photography, if it wasn't for the wet plate collodion process, then maybe we wouldn't have the preserved national lands that we have today,
Sure.
and that maybe we wouldn't have this wonderful treasure in our state, Mackinaw Island. It's no longer a national park. It was given over to the state in 1895, but for 20
So
years
it was before the
national park.
1900s it became state property.
Yeah, 1895 it became state property. The federal government was telling the fort that the military would take care of the state or the national park, but the military was like, no.
Yeah, they didn't want it. Yeah.
So then it became a state park.
Fantastic.
So that was my proposal, is wanting to come and make some landscape photographs in this space that was once a national park.
And judging by what you've done, and I'll be showing some of the images throughout this interview if you don't mind, but
Sure.
the things you've done have been really beautiful. It's
Thank
been really
you.
remarkable.
Thank you so much.
And you're probably one of the first people to be doing wet plate on the island in a long, long time.
Maybe.
I can't think of anybody that's
Yeah,
done
the photograph. So when I spent one day and I went to the fort, and the fort has a lot of books about the island, and so I actually did purchase 2 books on photography on the island. One is specifically for a photographer named Gardner, and he has a lot of photographs, but I think they're all dry plates.
that. Okay.
Because it's 1896
Yeah, so
through
Gardner
like
was here. I didn't know
1910.
that. Not that Gardner. Okay.
Not Alexander
No,
Gardner.
okay, so not.
I can't remember his first name, but it's Gardiner with an I-N-E-R.
Got you. Okay.
So I might not be pronouncing it correctly, but so he was here and he had a studio here, and so those are most of the photographs that I've seen are his, but looking at the photographs, it seems like I think they're dry plate.
Right.
It doesn't specify in the book. It doesn't say if they're dry plate or wet plate, but I think they might be dry plate. And it's a little later.
You were up quite a bit of logistical problems to do this. I mean, there's no motorized vehicles allowed on this island.
Correct. Everything is by horse and buggy and bicycle.
Yeah, and it's not like you can just go to the mainland really easily and grab your stuff. I mean, it's what, a 15, 20-minute ferry ride over here, but at no small expense. And,
Correct.
Yeah, so you had to bring everything with you. So
I had to bring everything with me. Yep. So I have, I think, 5 or 6 totes of gear. I have 2 different camera totes. I have a tripod. I have a jug for water. I have a table. I have a big wooden thing. I have lots and lots of stuff. 2 bike trailers.
Yeah.
And that's how I get around. So I load everything up onto my bike trailer, ratchet strap it down to make sure that it's going to stay, and then I hit the road. And the outside of the island is more flat, but the inside is really hilly. So that's been challenging, and I've definitely had to get off and just push the bike a couple times for quite some distances because it's pretty steep. But it's been worth it.
You mentioned, it has been. I would say so. You showed me the one image of Arch Rock that you did. It's just beautiful.
Thank you.
You should be really, I would be really proud of having that image. And that was not easy to get because of where it is. It's definitely high up. And
it's very high up, and it took me, Google Maps is like, it'll take you 12 minutes. I'm like, okay, 12 minutes.
Yeah, right.
It took me 12 minutes to go 10 feet up that steep hill. So I ended up getting there considerably later than anticipated, pretty much right when the tourists were arriving is when I got there. So I had to wait in line. So Arch Rock is a very, everyone wants to see Arch Rock. It's a monument.
It's one of the big,
it's a landmark on the island. So everyone wants to see it, and they bring carriage tours, and so people are coming in by, 40 people at a time are coming in to see this.
Right.
And I got there right when they did. My goal was to get there before everybody got there. It didn't happen. And so I stood in line just like everybody else to get their photo. So everyone, they call it the selfie line, is what I later learned. It's like everyone stands in line so they can get their selfie in front of the arch. And so I stood there with my 4x5 camera, my giant tripod, and I waited in line just like everybody else to get that photo of the arch.
Wow.
And
that's really simple. But you not only you had to pour a plate, you had to sensitize it.
I poured the plate, I sensitized it, I put it in the, I put it in my overall pocket, which is why I was saying I really like my overalls.
Yeah.
And then I carried my camera over and I got in line. And I was just like, please don't dry plate, please don't dry.
Oh my God.
And then waited, and I got up there. And that photo, I feel like, is a little bit miraculous because I was trying to be so fast. And so I put the tripod, I focused real quick, I put the thing, and that was the first plate I did of the day.
Wow.
And I think it was probably the best plate I made that day, because then I tried to do one more after that, and then I realized there's just too many people here and I'm taking up too much time.
Yeah.
And so then I waited the entire day. So that was probably like 9:30 when I took that photograph.
Yeah, I mean, you were texting over to the mainland because I don't live very far from here in the mainland of Michigan, and you were texting me earlier in the day when you got there, and then later in the day you were texting me. You were still there.
I stayed there until probably 7:30. So
oh my God, you were there.
So the night before,
over 6 hours.
I walked over there, and it was like 6 o'clock at night, and nobody was there. And so I was like, "Oh, this is great."
Yeah.
And so I was like,
yeah, we're on an island.
It's a ferry.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, this is great. I'm going to get there early in the morning because I looked it up and the carriage tours start at 9. So I'm like, oh, I'll get there before the carriages do. And then, of course, it took me a lot longer to get there. And it probably took me a good 45 minutes to get there. And it's not that far, but it's just a really steep hill. And also Google Maps is not good for the island. You got to use a real map. Google Maps doesn't know what you're trying to do. And so I just decided I'd wait because I wanted to get more photographs of the arch. And so I thought, okay, well, yesterday everyone was out of here by like 5:30, 6 o'clock, so that'll be the same case. But what I didn't take into consideration is that it was a Friday and it was the 4th of July.
4th of July.
So the tourists just never stopped coming.
You were fighting it, yeah.
And so at the end, I kind of did the same thing. I waited in line again, and I think I got 2 more photos of the arch, and then I was like, all right, this is never going to happen.
Yeah. Well, spectacular job.
Thank you.
I'm going to be proud to show that one for you. That's a really
Thank you so
nice
much.
image. Yeah, and just the fact that it's the wet plate collodion process and that you had to go through that kind of stuff just to make that image. I mean, I don't think people really understand You've got a lot of energy, let me say, but wow. I mean, I was just tired sitting out there watching you work today.
Well, it's a lot of fun. I really love
Yeah.
it. And then, you know, once you start making photographs, you're like, oh, that one's good. And then you see something else, you're like, oh, I want to do that. And
Yeah.
then, like,
and it's not like snapshots, you know. I mean, this is
no, yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah.
You know, put yourself into some precarious position sometimes to try to
Well,
get the composition
your practice
you want.
of it is really good. I mean, your workflow is really good. Watching you was you know, almost calming because you've got everything so organized. But you're laying prints against trees or plates against trees, and then that final one that you know, where you're drawing your natural drawing rack.
Yeah.
We had this big ice storm up here, and it snapped a lot of trees off, and Amber was using these snap trees as ways to dry her plates.
Yeah, because if you put them in direct sun, they'll dry really
they
quickly.
dry really
but if they're in the
fast.
shade, they take a very long time to dry.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when I'm done and I'm like, okay, I want to go.
Yeah.
I can't wait for those plates to dry because I'm tired.
Yeah.
So I stick them in the sun, and that was like the perfect little natural drying rack. I was like, oh, I love this. This is amazing. Okay. Woohoo! The plate in the plate holder. All right. Okay. So, I gotta grab my, I do have my loop. I need my dark cloth. I cannot find my dark cloth. Like my tried and true. It's just vanished.
I could have brought one today.
Oh no, that's okay. I brought one with me.
Oh, okay. You've got a good one.
I have another one. It's just small, and I don't like it as much because it's really light. So the wind moves it, and
I know.
I just, you know, I miss mine.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. The light on this one is really nice.
It's beautiful.
I'm gonna do 5/6, stop it down a little bit. And I'm gonna do this for maybe, I don't know, 3 seconds. It'd be a good test. It's always hard to tell. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. It's really cool. So I don't know if you see that sort of spider or that cobweb.
Yes.
I thought I had a scratch on one of my plates and I was really bummed. And then I realized it was the web because it went it was like this 3-dimensional, and I was like, whoa, that's wild. And sometimes I think I see like, you know, chemical marks or something, and then I look closer and it's a twig, or it's like, you know, it just picks up the detail that I don't even notice when I'm looking at the object I'm photographing.
Yeah.
All right, so now I'm gonna go in and develop.
Okay. Hi.
Hey, I think this is gonna be interesting. So right now it's a negative, and I'm just rinsing it off. And then I'm gonna put it in the fix, and we'll watch it go from, oopsie, I just scratched it, from a negative to a positive.
I do that too much. Perfect exposure.
There it is, all that weird mottled light. So now, because I like that, I'm gonna do a glass negative. I might change some things though. I might adjust my focus and maybe my aperture a little bit. don't like that this foreground piece is out of focus.
Okay. It's a really nice composition.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice job. So now you've got pre-subbed glass here?
Yes, so this is cleaned glass and egg whites on the edges to hold the collodion onto the glass. Sanded, cleaned, subbed, ready to go. Did it all last night. And now into the silver it goes. It's gonna go into the silver for 5 minutes. And that's it. Set my timer. And now I'll do all my cleanup while that's...
So you find, like,
sensitive.
I mean, I'm the same way. I always kind of harp about my consistency of workflow. You know, I keep doing the same thing the same way every time.
Yeah.
And that way it removes space for mistakes and things.
Yeah, I try to, and it's nice when it's so nice to be here because I can just focus on making the work. It's not like, oh, I have an appointment at this time or I have to be somewhere at a certain time. I can just take my time, relax, do what needs to be done and not be like, okay, I'm rushed, I gotta get out of here, or I've got this to do, or you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's been really quite lovely.
And you've been here, I mean, it's gonna be 2 weeks almost by the time you're through with it.
Yeah, so today's the 11th and I leave on the 13th.
Oh.
And I've been here since the 1st. So, and tomorrow's gonna rain. So today might be my last day that I get to be out here and make photos. So we'll see. Maybe it won't rain tomorrow, but I kind of have a feeling it will.
Well, from what you've showed me so far, you've really been prolific and done some really beautiful things, you know.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been busy, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I have great legs now. From carrying this cargo trailer on my bike and going up the hills and oh my gosh, I feel like I gotta keep it up now though. I can't get home and just turn into a couch potato.
Yeah, I know, you're gonna have to keep your steps up.
I know.
I know, just coming to meet you today, I met my steps like halfway through the whole thing. I had met my goal for the day.
Yeah.
I gotta do this more often.
One day my steps was like 19,000 and I didn't even include any of my bicycling, and I mean, yeah, I don't think there's any way for it to
Good for you.
to get that, but all right, I'm gonna refocus this. Trying to decide here what I want to get in focus.
Oh, this is classic with the... Gotta wait for the horse.
Yup. I almost got knocked off my bike today by a horse.
Pays to work with a black tray when you're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah. I think this here, I just don't love how the light is fully on that and it's out of focus, but maybe I'll do some more finagling with my...
With your composure, your...
Yeah. My legs are burning.
Like, yeah.
Yikes. Okay. There's not a lot of light over here, but I'm going to turn it down because I want to try to get as much of the... I can't get the whole thing, so it's like half, but that's okay. If that wasn't there, that'd be the perfect spot to be. Maybe I can still finagle a position down there in the log.
It could fall at you. No, but it could break and fall.
Ready?
Matthew,
Okay,
I
just
said
sit.
stop.
Stop that.
There we
Take a
go.
picture there.
This background going on with tourists and parenting. And Dad's making sure nobody's getting hurt.
Yeah.
Stop! I said stop.
All right, 3 minutes on the clock.
All right.
So here it is.
Ooh, it looks terrific.
I could go for a donut right now.
You like it?
Yeah. Okay. So now into the fix we go. There it is.
That's beautiful. Nice job.
Thank you. So now I'll do a glass negative.
Yeah.
Because I like the way that turned out. Yeah. Love that tree.
So, you know, I mean, you know, talking about the studio work and your work process in here. So, but what I'd like to also you to talk a little bit about is your work at Washtenaw Community College, because
Sure.
Amber has been really instrumental in getting the alternative process program going there. And you're now a full-time employee with them, right?
Yeah, so I started teaching there full-time in the fall, last fall. I'd been teaching there part-time since 2022, and then I was hired to teach full-time in the fall. So I teach in the digital media arts department and in the photography program.
Fantastic.
And I teach a lot of the analog classes, so I teach alternative historical processes, history of photography, film and darkroom, large format, and digital photography, portfolio. Teach a lot of classes, but a lot of analog courses.
And you have a lot of, you know, I know from history of that college, just because you're keeping that facility going, you have a lot of repeat.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of what do they call people like me, mature students and things like that.
Yeah, we have students who've been taking classes for 20, 30
right,
years,
because
which
they
is
want
amazing.
use of that facility.
Yeah, it's wonderful facility.
fantastic that you
Washtenaw
do
Community
that.
College has incredible facilities and equipment, probably the best I would say in the state, especially for community college, but
Well,
even more so than
they
a lot
seem
of the
to
four-year
spend the money. I
schools.
mean, you've done quite a job at, you know, you've got all the LED boxes set up, you've got all
Yeah.
the print frames going. I mean, you've really
Yeah. It's-
got it going.
I feel very fortunate because
I wish
they
I would have had
invest
that when
in
I
it.
was in school.
Me
you
too.
know? You know, I mean, we didn't have to reinvent all this stuff. You know?
Yeah. It's been really fun. I mean, we have, like I said, really great facilities and good equipment, and we have really the best students. You know, we have students that are fresh out of high school. We have students who are coming back maybe mid-career, and then we have students who are retired who
Right.
maybe were working in the darkroom 40 years ago and they want to come back. And then we have students who've just never left.
Yeah,
They've
yeah.
been taking classes
They
for
just keep
20, 30
going.
years. So it's just a wonderful mix of diversity in our students that we have in the photo program, which is something that I really love because everyone's teaching everybody something, which I
Right.
think is really nice, and it
Right.
creates a really nice culture in the classroom.
And that's the thing, is you don't have a lot of just like green people coming in. They're I want to say green, you know, not disrespectfully, but people that just don't really know what's going on. You have a lot of pretty experienced people that come through. So.
Yeah, and I mean, we still have a lot of people who don't, you know.
Right,
So
but the thing that's beauty about a thing like that is
Yeah.
you've got the older students, you've got the more experienced students that are
Right.
helping them as well.
Yeah, it's really neat to see that
Yeah.
happen too, and it's nice to see the students who've been taking, you know, film and darkroom for maybe 10 years,
Yeah.
and they'll help out some of the newer students, or to see them working together in open lab and stuff is really
Yeah.
nice.
Well, I got to say, it's great. I really appreciate you. Well, I'm glad you came up. It's fun.
Yeah,
And, you know,
thank
Amber's
you.
been a friend for a few years now, but you're always a breath of fresh air to come around because you've got such energy. You always have really great ideas.
Thank you.
And well, thank you. And I just appreciate you doing this. It's really nice. You know, just you know, check out Amber's website. Amber, she's got, what are you, DetroitTintype.com?
Yep,
And
DetroitTintype.com.
I'm actually going to be teaching a website. I mean, I'm going to be teaching a workshop with Amber pretty soon anyway, in the fall. And so check that stuff out. But anyway, I really thank you for doing this. I don't
Thank
mean to cut it
you.
short or anything,
No, it's
but
okay.
yeah, let you get back to your work. But yeah, thank you so much. It's
Thank
been a real
you.
pleasure.
Thank
All right.
you. All right.
All right, cool.
Bye.
Yay!